She closed her eyes to die, then opened them to a human's rescue. The sky was burning. Thick black smoke blocked out the twin suns of Zarla's world. Her breathing came in short, painful gasps as she dragged herself across the rocky ground. The attack had come without warning. One moment, her small outpost settlement had been peaceful. The next, the sky filled with enemy ships. Zarla was the only one left. Everyone else was gone. Blood seeped from the deep wound in her side, leaving a trail of blue droplets on the gray stones behind her. Her four-fingered hand pressed against the injury, trying to stop the bleeding. It was no use. Her life was draining away with each beat of her twin hearts. The caves ahead might offer shelter, but Zarla knew she would never reach them. Her strength was fading too quickly. Her pale green skin had turned a sickly yellow, a sign that her body was shutting down. With the last of her energy, she pulled herself beneath a rocky overhang. At least the enemy wouldn't find her body right away. Not that it mattered now. Zarla closed her large, violet eyes. She thought of her family, her clan, all gone now. There was nothing left to fight for. The darkness behind her eyelids was comforting. Soon, she would join her ancestors in the great beyond. Let it end, she whispered in her native tongue. I am ready. Time passed. How much, she couldn't tell. Pain still gripped her body, which confused her. Shouldn't death have taken the pain away? Then she felt something else, a sensation of movement. Was she being carried? Zarla forced her heavy eyelids open. She expected to see the stone ceiling of her hiding place. Instead, she looked up into the strangest face she had ever seen. It wasn't the face of her people. It wasn't even the face of their enemies, the Krell. This was someone, completely unknown. The creature had no scales, no protective ridges. Its skin was a soft pink-brown color, completely smooth except for patches of dark hair on top of its head and around its chin. Two small, round eyes stared down at her, eyes that were mostly white with small colored centers. Its nose protruded oddly from its flat face, and its mouth was much wider than her own. Zarla tried to scream, but only a weak gasp escaped her throat. Easy there, the creature said. The words were strange, but somehow Zarla understood their meaning. I'm not going to hurt you. The creature, no, the being, was carrying her in its two arms. Arms that had 5 fingers on each hand instead of 4. It wore some kind of fitted suit with many pockets and devices attached to it. What are you? Zarla managed to ask, her voice barely audible. The being looked down at her with an expression she couldn't read. I'm human. My name is Daniel. Daniel Chen. Human. Zarla had never heard of such a species. In all the recorded history of her people's exploration of the stars, no one had mentioned humans. Where, taking me, she asked, struggling to form the words. To my ship, the human answered. You need medical attention. That wound is bad. Zarla was too weak to resist, too confused to understand. Why would this strange alien help her? Was it a trap? Would she become a prisoner? Or worse, a test subject? They moved through the rocky terrain. The human was careful, adjusting his grip whenever Zarla winced in pain. Despite her fear, she noticed this gentleness. The Krell would never show such care to an enemy. My people, all dead, Zarla said, her voice breaking. The human named Daniel nodded grimly. I saw. I'm sorry. We detected the attack from orbit, but we were too far away to stop it. You, not with Krell. The ones who attacked. No. We don't even know who they are. We just arrived in this star system 3 days ago. This information was too much for Zarla's failing mind to process. New aliens? From beyond known space. It seemed impossible. They rounded a large boulder, and Zarla saw what must be the humans' ship. It was unlike any vessel she had seen before, sleek and silver, with strange markings on its side. A door stood open, revealing a brightly lit interior. "Almost there," Daniel said. "Just hang on." Inside the ship, lights glowed from every surface. Strange machines beeped and hummed. The air was cool and smelled of unfamiliar chemicals. Daniel placed Zarla carefully on a flat surface that adjusted to her body shape. Another human appeared, this one with longer hair and different facial features. "What did you find?" the second human asked, then stopped short upon seeing Zarla. "Oh my God! Is that a survivor?" Daniel replied. "She's badly wounded. Can you help her?" The second human approached, holding a small device. "I'm Dr. Sarah Wells," she said slowly, as if unsure whether Zarla could understand. "I'm going to try to help you." Zarla tried to speak but couldn't find the strength. Her vision was growing dark around the edges. "She's going into shock," Dr. Wells said urgently. "Hand me that blue case." The next few moments were a blur of movement and unfamiliar voices. Zarla felt something cold press against her wound, then a strange tingling sensation spread through her body. "The bleeding is stopping," Dr. Wells said. "But I don't know enough about her physiology to do more. We need to get her stable for transport." "Transport where?" Daniel asked. "Back to the Galileo. The main ship has better medical facilities." Their words began to fade as darkness closed in. Zarla fought against it, desperate to stay conscious. These humans were her only link to survival, but could she trust them? Why would they help her? What did they want? As consciousness slipped away, she heard Daniel's voice one last time. "Don't be afraid. We'll protect you. You're not alone anymore." Zarla's last thought before darkness claimed her was a strange one. For the first time since the attack, she felt something unexpected, hope. Zarla woke to an unfamiliar humming sound. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing a room unlike any she had ever seen. White walls surrounded her, with strange blinking lights on various machines. She lay on a soft bed, with tubes connected to her arm. The wound in her side still hurt, but the pain was duller now, more manageable. "You're awake," said a voice. Zarla turned her head to see Daniel, the human who had rescued her. He sat in a chair nearby, watching her with those strange, round eyes. "Where am I?" Zarla asked. She noticed she could speak more clearly now. Something had helped her recover. "You're on our main ship, the Galileo," Daniel explained. "We brought you here after our shuttle's medical supplies weren't enough. You've been unconscious for 3 days. 3 days. Zarla tried to sit up, but pain shot through her side. "Easy," Daniel said, moving to help her adjust her position. "Dr. Wells says you're healing, but slowly. Your biology is different from ours." Zarla studied the human more carefully now. Without the haze of pain and fear, she could see Daniel wasn't as strange-looking as she'd first thought. Different, yes, but not monstrous like the Krell. "Why did you help me?" she asked. Daniel seemed surprised by the question. "Because you needed help. That's what humans do, or try to do, anyway." Before Zarla could respond, the door slid open. A taller human entered, wearing a dark uniform with small shiny objects on the collar. "I see our guest is awake," the newcomer said. "I'm Captain Rivera, commander of this expedition." Zarla tried to remember the proper greeting gestures of her people, but her body was too weak. "I am Zarla, scout of the 3rd colony of Vazith," she said instead. "I thank you for saving my life." Captain Rivera nodded. "We have many questions, Zarla of Vazith. And I imagine you have questions for us as well. But first, can you tell us about the attack on your settlement?" Zarla's inner eyelids flicked briefly, a sign of distress among her people. "It was the Krell. They have hunted my kind for generations. We thought this outpost was hidden, but... Her voice trailed off. The Krell, Captain Rivera repeated. Are they the species with the curved ships and red markings? Yes, Zarla confirmed, surprised. You have seen them. They attacked our shuttle when we approached this planet, Daniel explained. We managed to escape, but our engines were damaged. That's why I was on foot when I found you, looking for materials to repair our ship. Captain Rivera's face grew serious. Our main vessel is currently hiding in the shadow of the second moon. We detected multiple Krell ships in the system. We need to leave soon. Zarla felt fear grip her hearts. You are leaving? Not without you, Daniel said quickly, glancing at the captain. But we do need to move. This area isn't safe. Do you have other colonies? The captain asked. Somewhere we could take you. Zarla hesitated. Revealing the location of the main Vazith colony to aliens was forbidden. But these humans had saved her life when they could have left her to die. There is one settlement, she admitted finally. Hidden in the asteroid belt of the neighboring star system. But the journey is dangerous. Krell patrols are everywhere. Captain Rivera nodded thoughtfully. Our ship is fast, but we're not equipped for combat against multiple enemies. We'll need to be careful. The ship suddenly shuddered, and a loud alarm began to wail. Captain to bridge, a voice called from a device on Rivera's wrist. Krell ships approaching. On my way, Rivera responded, already moving toward the door. Daniel, stay with our guest. Prepare her for possible evacuation. After the captain left, Daniel helped Zarla disconnect from the medical equipment. Can you walk? He asked. Zarla tried to stand, her legs wobbling beneath her. Not well, she admitted. Daniel supported her weight with his arm. Then I'll help you. We need to get to the emergency shuttles if things go bad. As they made their way slowly through the corridors of the human ship, Zarla marveled at the technology around her. The Vazith were not primitive, but human engineering seemed different, less elegant perhaps, but incredibly practical. Your people, the humans, where do you come from? She asked as Daniel helped her down a narrow passageway. A planet called Earth, he replied. Very far from here. We're explorers, searching for new worlds and new civilizations. You never knew about the Krell. Or my people. Daniel shook his head. This is the farthest our ships have ever traveled. We didn't know what, or who, we would find. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. Lights flickered, and Zarla nearly lost her balance. That was a hit, Daniel said grimly. The Krell found us. They reached a small room with several chairs secured to the floor. Daniel helped Zarla into one and fastened straps around her to keep her safe. Emergency stations, a voice announced over hidden speakers. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. The next minutes were chaotic. The ship lurched and turned, throwing them against their restraints. Through a small window, Zarla glimpsed the darkness of space, occasionally broken by flashes of light, weapon fire. The Krell ships are fast, Daniel explained between violent turns. But Captain Rivera is one of our best pilots. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the ship. Sparks flew from the ceiling, and smoke began to fill the air. Engine hit, the announcement came. All personnel prepare for emergency jump. Daniel's face paled. That's not good. A jump with damaged engines could tear the ship apart. Zarla felt both her hearts racing. What can we do? Before Daniel could answer, the ship gave one final, violent shudder, then everything went still. The lights dimmed to a dull red glow. We've stopped, Daniel said, sounding confused. But why would the captain? The door slid open, and Captain Rivera appeared, face grim. We've entered an asteroid field to hide from Krell sensors. But our main engine is critically damaged. We can't outrun them anymore. What about the jump? Daniel asked. Too risky with the damage we've sustained, Rivera replied. But we have another option. The captain turned to Zarla. You said your colony is in an asteroid belt in the neighboring system? Zarla nodded. Yes, but could you guide a small shuttle there? Something that might slip past Krell patrols. Understanding dawned on Zarla. You want me to lead you to my people? Not all of us, Rivera said. Just one shuttle with Daniel and a small crew. The main ship will draw the Krell away, giving you a chance to escape. That's too dangerous, Daniel protested. Your ship is already damaged. It's our best option, Rivera insisted. The Galileo can handle itself. But we need to get Zarla to safety, and possibly make contact with her people. They might have technology or knowledge that could help us against the Krell. Zarla looked between the two humans, amazed at their willingness to risk themselves for her, an alien they had just met. Such behavior was rare even among her own kind. I will guide you, she said finally. But the path is treacherous. The Krell know these stars better than anyone. Captain Rivera nodded solemnly. Then we'd better move quickly. The Krell will find us soon enough. As Daniel helped her up again, Zarla wondered what she had gotten these humans into. Would she lead them to safety, or to their deaths? As Daniel helped her up again, Zarla wondered what she had gotten these humans into. Would she lead them to safety, or to their deaths? The shuttle was small, much smaller than the main human ship. It held just enough room for 5 people, Daniel, Zarla, Dr. Wells, and 2 crew members called Torres and Singh. Captain Rivera had stayed behind with the Galileo, promising to lead the Krell on a chase through another sector. Are you comfortable? Daniel asked as he helped Zarla into a seat near the front of the shuttle. Yes, she replied, though comfort was the least of her concerns. Her wound still ached, and worry for these humans weighed heavily on her mind. Your captain sacrifices much for a stranger. That's what exploration is about, Daniel said, securing her safety harness. Making new friends, forming connections. Besides, your colony might be able to help repair our ship. Dar. Wells approached with a small device. This should help with the pain during our journey, she said, pressing it against Zarla's arm. A cool sensation spread through her body, dulling the throbbing in her side. Thank you, Zarla said. She was still amazed by the kindness these aliens showed her. Among her people, such care was reserved only for family and clan. Torres, a short human with dark hair, sat at the shuttle's controls. Engine check complete. We're ready for departure. Singh, who operated the communication systems, spoke into a small device. Shuttle Phoenix to Galileo. We are prepared for launch. Captain Rivera's voice crackled through the speakers. Understood, Phoenix. We'll create a diversion in Sector 4. That should give you a clear path to the asteroid belt. Good luck. You too, Captain, Singh replied. See you at the rendezvous point. The shuttle detached from the Galileo with a gentle shudder. Through the viewing window, Zarla watched the larger ship grow smaller until it was just a speck against the darkness of space. Then it vanished, heading toward danger to protect them. Which way to your colony? Torres asked. Zarla pointed toward a distant cluster of stars. There. The Merrick system. The colony is hidden in the outer asteroid belt. Torres adjusted their course. The shuttle's engines hummed louder as they accelerated. It will take approximately 12 hours to reach the edge of the Merrick system, Singh reported. If we don't encounter any problems. But problems found them only 3 hours into their journey. Singh's console began flashing red. Energy signature detected, he announced, voice tense. Krell patrol ship, bearing 270. Everyone froze. Daniel moved closer to Zarla, as if ready to protect her. Have they seen us? Dr. Wells asked. Singh studied his readings. Uncertain. They're not on an intercept course yet, but they're close enough to detect us if they scan this sector. Options? Daniel asked Torres. The pilot pointed to a nearby star. We could use its radiation to mask our signature, but we'd have to fly dangerously close. Too risky with our limited shielding, Dr. Wells objected. The radiation could kill us all. Zarla leaned forward, ignoring the pain in her side. There is another way. The Nethera Nebula. She pointed to a faint purple cloud visible in the distance. My people use it to hide from Krell sensors. The mineral particles disrupt their scanning technology. Torres looked skeptical. Can our shuttle navigate through it? Yes, but you must follow my directions exactly, Zarla said. There are paths through the nebula known only to Vazith scouts. After a moment of hesitation, Torres nodded and changed their course. The shuttle turned toward the purple haze, which grew larger as they approached. Krell's ship is changing course, Singh reported. They've spotted us. Full power to engines, Daniel ordered. We need to reach the nebula before they catch us. The shuttle surged forward. Zarla felt the force pressing her back into her seat. The pain in her side flared despite the medicine. Krell's ship is in pursuit, Singh called out. They're gaining. The edge of the nebula loomed ahead, a wall of swirling purple gas and glittering particles. Where do we enter? Torres asked frantically. Zarla pointed to a slightly darker patch. There. That flow current will carry us deeper. Torres steered the shuttle toward the spot. Just as they reached the nebula's edge, the shuttle rocked violently. They're firing on us. Singh shouted. Shields down to 60%, Dr. Wells reported, checking another console. Then they plunged into the nebula. Purple gas enveloped the shuttle, reducing visibility to almost nothing. The control panel flickered as mineral particles interfered with their systems. I can't see. Torres complained. Turn 30 degrees left, Zarla instructed. Follow the darker current. Torres obeyed, and the shuttle slipped deeper into the nebula. The purple haze outside was disorienting, but Zarla had navigated this path before. The Krell ship has stopped at the nebula's edge, Singh reported with relief. They're not following us in. They fear the nebula, Zarla explained. Many of their ships have been lost here. Only experienced scouts can navigate these currents. For the next hour, Zarla guided Torres through the nebula's treacherous paths. Sometimes the gas was so thick they couldn't see anything at all. Other times, it thinned enough to reveal spectacular views of swirling colors and glittering particles. It's beautiful, Dr. Wells whispered, staring out the viewport. And deadly, Zarla added. Stay on this path. Straying even slightly means death. Finally, they reached a clearer area, a bubble of calm within the nebula. We can rest here briefly, Zarla said. The Krell cannot reach us. Torres powered down the engines, and everyone relaxed slightly. Daniel helped Zarla adjust her position to ease the pressure on her wound. How much farther to your colony? He asked. Several hours beyond the nebula, she replied. But the worst danger is behind us. Dr. Wells approached with a scanner. Let me check your injury. The stress of the escape may have affected your healing. As the doctor examined her, Zarla studied the humans' faces. They all showed signs of exhaustion, yet they had risked everything to help her, a stranger from an alien species. Why do this? She asked suddenly. Why risk your lives when your captain could have left me behind? The humans exchanged glances. That's not who we are, Daniel said simply. On Earth, we have a saying, no one left behind. Even for aliens you just met. Zarla pressed. Singh smiled. Especially for new friends. The universe is too big and too dangerous to face alone. Zarla felt something strange in her chest, not pain, but a warmth she hadn't expected. These humans, with their soft skin and fragile bodies, possessed a strength her people rarely showed, compassion beyond clan boundaries. My colony will not welcome you easily, she warned. They fear outsiders. Many will see you as threats. We understand, Daniel replied. But at least you'll be safe. Zarla shook her head. I will not abandon you after all you've done. I will speak for you to the elders. You saved my life. Perhaps together, we can save both our peoples from the Krell. Dar. Wells finished her examination with a nod of satisfaction. Your wound is healing well. You should rest now. As the humans returned to their duties, Zarla closed her eyes. But this time, not to die, to plan. The journey ahead would test them all. The Vazith colony, the Krell hunters, the fate of these brave humans who had changed everything she thought she knew about the universe. When she opened her eyes again, Daniel was watching her with concern. We'll make it, he said, as if reading her thoughts. For the first time since her rescue, Zarla truly believed him. The asteroid belt of the Merrick system stretched before them like a field of floating mountains. Countless rocks, some as small as the shuttle and others massive enough to qualify as small moons, drifted in a slow orbital dance around the distant sun. This is incredible, Daniel said, peering through the viewport. How do we find your colony in all this? Zarla stood beside him, steadier on her feet after Dr. Wells' treatments. The colony is hidden inside one of the largest asteroids. From the outside, it looks like any other rock. Torres navigated carefully between the drifting masses. Any guidance on which giant rock we're looking for? There, Zarla pointed to a dark, irregular shape in the distance. The one that appears to have a crater on its southern hemisphere. As they approached, the true size of the asteroid became apparent. It was enormous, at least 10 kilometers across, with a cratered surface that revealed nothing unusual. I'm not detecting any signs of life or technology, Singh reported, studying his instruments. You won't, Zarla explained. The colony is shielded. Approach the large crater and transmit this signal. She moved to Singh's console and input a series of pulses. Singh raised an eyebrow but followed her instructions. The shuttle drew closer to the massive crater, which looked like a black eye on the asteroid's surface. Nothing's happening, Torres said nervously after a minute. Wait, Zarla urged. Suddenly, something shifted in the darkness of the crater. A section of the rock slid aside, revealing a narrow opening just large enough for their shuttle. It's a hangar door. Dr. Wells exclaimed. Take us in, Daniel instructed Torres. Slowly. The shuttle glided into the opening. As they passed through, lights activated along a tunnel carved through the rock. Torres followed the illuminated path until it opened into a vast chamber. By the stars, Singh whispered. The cavern inside the asteroid was enormous. Artificial lights mimicked daylight, illuminating a settlement built against the curved inner walls. Structures of metal and stone rose in tiers, connected by bridges and lifts. At the center, a large artificial lake reflected the lights above. Fields of strange, purple plants grew in sections near the water. The third colony of Vazith, Zarla said, a note of pride in her voice. 5,000 of my people live here. Torres set the shuttle down on a marked landing area. Already, they could see Vazith people gathering, tall, green-skinned figures staring at the alien craft with obvious concern. What now? Dr. Wells asked. I speak to the elders, Zarla replied. But first, I must ask you all to remain calm no matter what happens. My people are cautious with outsiders. Daniel nodded. We understand. When the shuttle door opened, they were met by a dozen armed Vazith guards. Their weapons, long staffs crackling with energy, were pointed directly at the humans. Zarla stepped forward first, speaking rapidly in her native language. The guards' expressions changed from hostility to shock as they recognized her. An older Vazith pushed through the crowd, his skin a darker green, his face marked with age lines. "Zarla?" he asked in disbelief. "You live?" The outpost was reported destroyed. "Elder Vezak," Zarla bowed her head respectfully. "I am the only survivor. These." She gestured to the humans, "These beings saved me." Vezak studied the humans with large, suspicious eyes. "Bring them all to the council chamber. Under guard." The walk through the colony was tense. Vazith of all ages stopped to stare at the strange aliens in their midst. Some looked fearful, others curious. Children were hurried away by protective parents. The council chamber was a circular room carved from the asteroid itself. 7 elders, including Vezak, sat in a semicircle facing the humans and Zarla. "Explain," Vezak commanded. For nearly an hour, Zarla recounted everything: the Krell attack, Daniel finding her, the human ship, their escape through the nebula, and the Galileo's sacrifice. When she finished, an elder with elaborate markings on her face spoke. "How do we know these humans are not allied with the Krell? Perhaps this is a trick to discover our colony." "If we were with the Krell," Daniel said calmly, "why would we save Zarla instead of capturing her? Why risk our lives bringing her here?" "The humans come from beyond known space," Zarla added. They had never encountered the Krell before now. "Their main ship was damaged protecting me." Vezak leaned forward. "Is this true? You come from outside?" Daniel nodded. "We're explorers from a planet called Earth, many light years from here. We're searching for new civilizations, new knowledge." The elders conferred quietly among themselves. Finally, Vezak addressed them again. "If what you say is true, your arrival may be fortunate. The Krell grow stronger each cycle. Our colonies are falling one by one. We cannot fight them alone much longer. Perhaps we can help each other," Daniel suggested. "Our ship has technology you might find useful. And perhaps you have knowledge that could help us." The female elder still looked suspicious. "And what would you want in return?" "Safe passage home, eventually," Daniel replied honestly. "And perhaps friendship between our peoples." Before the elders could respond, a young Vazith burst into the chamber. "Elders! Krell ships have entered the asteroid belt. 3 warships, searching pattern." The chamber erupted in panic. Vazith guards moved to secure the exits. "They must have followed your shuttle," accused the female elder. "Impossible," Singh protested. "We lost them in the nebula." "Unless." Zarla's eyes widened with realization. "The Galileo. If the Krell captured it." Daniel's face paled. "They could have extracted our intended destination from the ship's computers." Vezak stood, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Initiate emergency protocols. Power down all non-essential systems." As the colony darkened around them, Dr. Wells stepped forward. "We can help. On our shuttle, we have technology that might mask your energy signatures." "How?" demanded Vezak. "Adaptive shield harmonics," Torres explained. "We developed them for studying stellar phenomena. They can be reconfigured to absorb and redirect sensor scans." The elders exchanged glances. After a moment, Vezak nodded. "Show us." Hours later, modified shields covered the colony's key energy sources. The humans worked alongside Vazith engineers, combining technologies in ways neither species had attempted before. From a viewing platform, Zarla and Daniel watched 3 distant Krell ships moving slowly through the asteroid field. "They're not changing course," Daniel observed. "I think it's working." "For now," Zarla said quietly. "But they will return with more ships. By then, maybe the Galileo will have found us," Daniel suggested, though his voice lacked conviction. Zarla turned to face him directly. "My people have survived by hiding, Daniel. But perhaps it is time for something new. The elders are impressed by your people's knowledge, and your courage. What are you suggesting?" An alliance. Not just for survival, but to finally stand against the Krell. Together. Daniel smiled. I think Captain Rivera would approve of that idea. A soft chime interrupted them. Singh's voice came through Daniel's communicator. Daniel, you need to see this. We're picking up a signal, it's faint, but it's definitely from the Galileo. Hope surged through them both as they hurried back to the shuttle. On Singh's console, a series of pulses repeated, a simple message in human code. They're alive, Daniel breathed. And they've evaded the Krell. Can we respond? Zarla asked. Singh nodded. If we're careful not to alert the Krell ships nearby. As they worked to establish contact with the Galileo, Zarla felt a strange sensation, something she hadn't experienced since before the attack on her outpost. It took her a moment to recognize it, hope. She looked around at these strange aliens who had saved her life, who now worked alongside her people against a common enemy. The universe had suddenly become both larger and smaller, filled with new dangers but also new possibilities. When she had closed her eyes expecting death, she could never have imagined opening them to find not just rescue, but a future. A human had saved her life, but perhaps together, their peoples would save each other. As the signal from the Galileo grew stronger, Zarla made a silent promise. This was just the beginning of their story.